Alright, hey guys. I just want to do a quick update. I've made a bulleted list here because I tend to get really off track. But anyway, today is Monday, April 11th. I have my window open, it's kind of loud outside, so hopefully we'll see how that goes. Anyway, let's see, first things first. Spring break was just recently, and I was in Texas with a group of students from a university that myself and 5 other students, roughly, and a couple professional staff members, we put this whole trip together. This is our 3rd year doing it. And we went to Texas and did Habitat for Humanity over spring break for the week. We went to Laredo, which is right on the border by Mexico. So it was awesome as usual, and the people down there, it's just like a big family, and every day we just had a ton of fun and got to help people in the process and got to meet families and stuff like that. So it's just rewarding beyond measures, and so it's a cool way to spend spring break. And so we took a charter bus down there. We were down there for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday we took the charter bus to Corpus Christi and we're at the beach for the day, and then Friday night we got on the road and drove through the night and got back into Kansas City on Saturday afternoon, early afternoon. So that was a lot of fun. And now we're back, and I'm working on, actually the PR director for that, so now I'm working on getting thank you letters put together and some stuff, and helping plan the after trip meeting to have everybody get together and talk about, do elections for next year's executive board, and talk about how the trip, and eat food and hang out, because we haven't really seen each other since we got back to school. Alright, so next thing is, today I went to the gym to work out after class, and you go to the first little desk and you check in by typing in your identification number. And then you go downstairs if you want like a towel and a lock, which you usually do, especially like because I had my backpack with me because I came from class, and so that way you can have a towel for when you're working out, and you can put your stuff in a locker, so you don't have to drag it around the workout room. And I went down to get my towel and my lock, and it was like your account has a notification on it to go see the administrative staff of Swinney Rec Center, and I was like, okay. I was like, my account's paid, shouldn't have a hold, not really sure what's going on. And so I ran into my friend Jesse. Quite a few of my friends work there, but I ran into my friend Jesse, and I was like, well, let's go, you wanna go up to this office with me, show me where it's at? And I've pretty much decided that whenever I have some kind of notification I don't know what it's for, I like to pretend that I won a sweepstakes or something, so I don't freak myself out and think I'm in trouble. So I'm like, either I'm in a lot of trouble or I won something. I don't really know why I would be in trouble, and I don't really think I entered anything, so we'll see how that goes. But basically it was the director of student services for the rec center, and a little while ago my director at my job where I work on campus she saw one of my YouTube videos about working out and not really being comfortable with either of the locker room situations as of currently, and she totally didn't have to do this. And my thing is that I'm typically an advocate for others, and it's really circumstantial, but normally I'm less adamant to advocate about myself, so I'm less adamant to rock the boat and say something about the locker rooms. But I think my friends know that about me. They know that I will stick up and be a big shaker of things in other situations, but when it's something specifically pertaining to me, I usually tend to just say oh, people don't need to make special exceptions for me, I'm not gonna do anything about it. But she was awesome. She's just great, and she just typed up a email to Swinney about the situation, and and asking if they had anything for that, because it's for students that are kind of in my situation. That would be a good resource, and it would be nice for them to be accommodating. So I went up there, and he took me into his office, and he was like, so he started talking to me about it, and I was like, oh, okay, I understand now. And so I told him all about it, and people are always like, oh, just stop me if I'm being offensive, or just tell me to be quiet if I ask something that's not okay to ask. But I'm usually like, no, ask away, please. I want people to be informed, like I want you to know. So told him all about it, and he said that he didn't want to guide me in the wrong direction. He wanted to make sure that he had everything straight and correct before he told me exactly what resources would be available and stuff. So he just took down my email, and he's going to email me about it. And but that's really cool, and so I can share that information with other trans people on campus and stuff like that. So that was just really awesome of my boss. And I don't remember if I've said her name on here before, but I guess I don't really know how she feels about it. I'm sure it would be fine, but just out of respect for her, I'm just gonna refer to her as my boss. But she's great. She's more than a boss, though. She's like a big sister, like a best friend. So she's awesome. Alright, next point of business. Man, I'm like 6 minutes. I'll try and wrap this up. I've recently had the really awesome chance. My friend Alana is working with the Olathe County OC Theater Association, OCTA, OCTA, and in Olathe, Kansas, doing a show. She's Olive in the Putnam County Spelling Bee show, and so she is doing that through OCTA, but the people directing it are from the She and Her like productions or theater association or whatever, and theater company. And Tiffany and Jennifer are their names, and they're really awesome people, so I'm glad I've gotten the chance to meet them. And on Sunday, let's see, last week, I think Thursday or something, it was Jen's birthday, and we all went out and got drinks in Olathe, because Alana invited me to drink with the cast after the show, and I was like, oh, it'll be cool to meet them. And we did that, and then Sunday, Emily, my friend Emily, her girlfriend Silver, Alana and I went to their space in the West Bottoms, and they have a theater space on the first floor of this warehouse that's really cool, but the rent is kind of high, and they got an offer from the landlord to move to the space on the third floor, which is the exact same kind of space, but it's just up 2 stories, and the rent like substantially lower. And so the only problem is that the freight elevator is not currently working, and they have a bunch of heavy equipment and materials and stuff on the first floor. So I basically spent a couple hours Sunday with all those people kind of dismantling things and moving stuff upstairs. It was really cool. It kind of was an eye-opening thing for me, because I'm like Quinn, and Corbin was there, and we're like the guys. So like mentally, it's really like, I really like it when people give me tasks where they're like, oh, make Quinn do it. All the girls are like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, definitely I want to do it, but I have to remember that my body is potentially not quite up to par strength-wise with a biological guy. So I'm like trying to haul these really heavy metal paint cabinets up the stairs, and I'm just like, Corbin's like, yeah, you're a beast, you got it, man, and I'm just like dying. But I can't. I did it. It worked out fine. So, and surprisingly, my back doesn't hurt too bad, but my knees are killing me. But I got in a pretty good workout today, and feeling good. Probably gonna be sore later. And so that pretty much brings me to this last point, which is I got a job working in California this summer at a camp, Skylark Ranch in San Jose, just out of San Francisco. I think it's just a little bit south of San Francisco. And I've never been to California, so I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to be teaching ropes and climbing, high ropes, to a bunch of girls. And they, I still have to talk to them about the trans thing. I'm pretty sure they already know. It's like I'm always in this internal debate about, like, I shouldn't have to tell people because I am who I am. but at the same time, like at where I'm at in my transition now, it might be beneficial for my employers to know, especially in a situation where it's kind of segregated because the guys stay elsewhere. Like they reference me as a male, and I'm gonna be in the male living quarters, not living in the cabins with the girls because it is an all-girls camp. But you know, younger children tend to be very curious and ask questions and stuff like that. So you know, I want them to know ahead of time so we can just all be aware of that. Yeah, so that's really exciting, and it's about 2,100 miles from St. Louis, 34 hours roughly, so about 2 days if you were just to, sorry, a day and 9 hours if you were to just drive straight through, but there's going to be some stopping involved, obviously, because I'm not going to drive straight through. But the thing is that I'm going to be employed June 7th through August 20th, and the last day of classes is August 6th. Oh no, wait, sorry, May 6th, which is great because then I have, you know, like almost a month. You know, obviously I have to leave to drive there. But then the thing is that I am done with work on August 20th, and classes start August 22nd. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But as of right now, the camp is helps with travel stipends and stuff like that, since I am going to be traveling quite a distance. But that's really exciting, and I have my other camps that I've worked for in the past to thank for giving me the skills to do this job, and you know, my friends and especially my family for supporting me, because when I do these things, like I go work in Maine like I did last summer, or here in California, I really don't make a lot of money. I make like a couple grand, but when I go to places like where I've never been, Maine or California, I end up pretty much spending all that money while I'm there. And my parents are really supportive, and they're like, you know, travel now, travel while you can, make the most of it, we don't care, you know. But internally, I'm the one that feels bad, because I like to be the kind of person that can, you know, stand on my own 2 feet, and my parents are always there to definitely want to help me. But, you know, like when they're having to foot my rent later on in the school year because I blew all the money I made over the summer, it's like hard on my conscience. So I just have to, you know, figure out that kind of stuff and what I'm going to do exactly. In the end, you know, I know that they're always there. I just don't like to take advantage of it. But, yeah, it's going to be awesome. And I'll check back in with you guys later. I have a class. It's in about 2 hours from now, doing a big presentation today, and then I have to write a speech for my class tomorrow. And it's supposed to be a persuasive speech, and I was originally going to write it on, I didn't really know what to write, so I was going to write it on like obesity in America and stuff like that. Obviously you have to have your point, and then you have to have the other side's point, and why you believe that you're correct as opposed to them, and then a call to action. And I've decided while I was in the shower today, just kind of an odd time, but that I wanted to actually write my speech on respect towards professors and teachers, because I am very adamant about respect to my professors as long as they're respectful towards the students, and other people seem to sometimes not understand that, and I think that it's correct to be respectful to them. And so, you know, like I have an opinion as to why it's correct and why it's incorrect to be disrespectful, and I feel pretty strongly about it, and sort of a call to action to be respectful to your professors, and because it just kind of tears me up. Actually, sometimes I just like say stuff like I'll turn around and be like, hey, really? Like that was really out of line. But alright, this is about 15 minutes, so sorry guys. But that's an update on my life, and if you watch this all the way through, I feel that maybe you're a true friend, so thank you. Alright, I'll see you guys around. Bye.